Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Stick 500, another DCS video. And if we're on this screen, you know we're doing something just a little bit different today. I am anticipating that the 2026 and beyond video will be coming out extremely soon. In fact, it may already be out today, but I can't wait for it to come out for me to do a reaction video to it because of the timing of when my videos need to come out. Just know that we will react to that one when it comes out. You'll get my thoughts and comments because, you know, that's why you're here, right? But before we get to that, one of the things I'm a huge fan of in DCS is when mod makers put out a standalone mod that is really good that can help a new flyer figure out if they want to do something or not without having to spend money on a jet or a plane or a warbird or a helicopter. And that's where we're going today, is with the helicopter. The one we are discussing today is the AH-6j version 1. This is from Toby. I actually don't think it's from Toby. I think it's from somebody else. But Toby's got the link, and it is a fantastic mod. I've done a little bit of flying with it. I'm going to show you how to download it. I'm going to show you how it works, and I'm going to show you the key bindings that I have already done so that you can go around and fly this thing. And there's a couple of catches, which is why we're doing some key bindings as we get started. But I'll have this link in the description below so that you can download the video and not download the mod, download the mod and put it where it needs to go. So I've already downloaded it. I've actually already installed it, but we're making this easier. And it's right there, the AH-6j mod pack version 1.0. You're going to extract it. And we are going, why can't I find extract? There it is. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. Extract that sucker. And it's going to do its thing. And presto, changeo, it is done. Now you notice there's a mods folder and a scripts folder. In the mods folder, when you open it up, there's a tech and an aircraft. In the aircraft is the mod itself. In the tech are its weapons pack. And yes, this comes with weapons. So where to put those? Let me go back to here. And we're going to go to my DCS, C drive, users, computer, save games, and DCS. And mod. Okay, so mods. We got aircraft, resources, scripts, services, and tech. If you don't have those folders, you may not need them all, but you will need the ones for this helicopter. You will need the tech and the aircraft, which we have aircraft and we have tech. The mod itself goes into the aircraft folder. The tech weapons pack goes into the, you guessed it, tech folder. And then when you back all the way back out, you've got the scripts folder, and then there's the hooks. I did not have a scripts folder, so I copied that folder and just pasted it directly into this folder, and we are good to go. That is how it's installed. That is how it is ready to go. Let's get into DCS and show you how it works. All right, if you've done all of that right, you should be able to come down here, and you will see the AH-6j 1.0 as a possibility to load in. It's the little bird. It's the egg. This is the helicopter you're going to be flying today. And if you recognize it from where I recognize it from, because I'm the right age and, you know, just kind of old enough to remember this, it's Magnum PI. It's TC's helicopter, which is the livery. That livery is involved with this. So you could use that livery, which is what I will be using exclusively for this helicopter. I've already created a mission. It's already in my Snake Playground folder. So I'm going to get that mission loaded, and I will show you what the key bindings were. All right, we are up and we are running. We are loaded, and it's got all the mission lists that you guys know how this works. All right, so we're flying. Now, what you see, this is how this thing looks, and this looks really good, by the way. Altimeter, you've got speed. I mean, you've got all your gauges here, and 1,000 switches, and fuses, and everything else going on. Right? I have not gone through everything on this aircraft. This is just some of the basic stuff. If you want to jump into a helicopter, fly around, and blow stuff up, that's where we're at. You'll see, love this livery. We've got guns, and we've got rocket pods. So, for key bindings, let's look at the key bindings for this. These are the ones that I have found that I've needed. There could be more that you may want, and feel free, obviously, to do those. But minimum is where I would go with what I've got here. And if there's something that you think is minimum that I have not, feel free to put it in the comment section below, and I will bind this thing. Because I've got a feeling I'm going to be playing with this one a little bit. Not as much as the Huey. Oh, this is standalone. You don't need another helicopter for this. This is absolutely, download this and you can start flying a helicopter. I need to make sure I mention that a lot, because that's why I'm talking about it. If you needed another helicopter, that doesn't help you learn if you want to fly helicopters in DCS. Okay, so adjust controls. We're already there. As always, with everything, you go to the access controls first. Zoom, the cockpit zoom, I always bind that. It's always in the same spot. I'm not going to tell you where I'm binding these things, just what to bind. You guys are smart enough to do this. The throttle is, I split my throttles. Whenever I'm in a helicopter, my left throttle is always the engine. My right throttle is always the collective, and you need to bind both of those. Then we've got the pedals, and I cannot recommend enough if you're going to try flying helicopters, find a cheap set of pedals if you're just trying to figure this out first. You don't want to do that with a twist stick. For a plane or a jet, you can get away with it. I can't get away with it in a helicopter. And then we've got the cyclic pitch and the roll. I also have a little stick on my stick that I'm going to use as the searchlight, so that when I attach the searchlight, it's already set up. I actually haven't used it yet, so that's probably not as needed. But I felt like the searchlight would be something that I would need. So that covers your access commands that you're going to need. Obviously, my head tracker is doing my head tracker things, so if you're using that, that's going to change, obviously, how your key bindings are. Then, in your weapons, there's a bunch of stuff here that you're going to need if you want to fire weapons. The first thing you're going to probably need is the AMS power toggle on. This it's not, don't think of this like master arm. Think of this as like turning your weapons on. And I've got that bound to my stick as my third button on my stick. Anyhow, that way all my weapon stuff is on my stick. I like all my weapon stuff on my stick. It makes my life easier. Insert jokes here. The next thing is your chaff and flare dispense. I have that on my chaff and flare dispense button, which is right there. See? And it goes back. The next thing is you're going to want your gunfire. That's obviously my trigger. Again, on the stick. Gun left arm toggle. So this turns your left arm on. I have that on my stick. I have that on what I would normally have as weapon selects, I guess, the way I put it. On the right hand, on the four-way hat on my stick on the bottom right-hand corner of it. So left arm toggle, I've got the left going left. Right arm toggle, I've got it going right. Those are your rocket pods. That just turns those on once all of your weapon systems is on. So I hope you're kind of following me here. Then I've got the gun power on and power off. I wanted those to be toggles. Let me do a quick change here and do that, because I want the gun toggle to be that. So if it's off, it turns on. If it's on, it turns off. Again, left and right. And I've got this on the four-way hat, left and right, on the bottom left of my stick. So those are turning the guns on and then turning the rocket pods on. The next one I also have is your rocket fire, which is my pickle button at the top of my stick. The next set of buttons that I have set up, we've got the chaff and flares, gun sight down, gun sight up, which I don't know if I need that. The gun sight's that little black dot that you'll see on the cockpit, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Master arm toggle is anytime that there's a aircraft that has something like this that I don't know. Like, I know where the master toggle is on the Tomcat. I know where it is on the A-10. I know where it is on the F-18. I don't need to look for it. I know where to click. I don't know this aircraft, so we have it clicked. It's right here. I have that on my stick, on my throttle. I actually have it on my left side of my Mongoose throttle as the button that I always use for my FC3 planes for the fire override button. And then we've got toggle cruise status. I've got a 4-way hat on my throttle that changes these guys out. Now, there's no AI in this, so this is kind of useless. But if they ever add an AI, I want those bound. So that covers your weapons. The next thing you are going to want to bind is your trim. And the trim hat. It's always my trim hat. Trim down, trim left, trim right, trim up. And on my reset, on that little stick on my stick, you can push down on it, and it resets your trim. So this trim's more like a jet than it does the Huey, something to think, or a plane, so that you need the 4-way trim for the systems. Night vision goggles is my night vision goggles button, because if I'm going to be flying this thing at night, I want to see where I'm going. I don't think I did anything else. Just kind of looking that wasn't already done. I think that's it. Yeah, I think I did I think that's all the key bindings I did. So let's get this up in the air. Now, all right, as I've said many times, not the world's best helicopter pilot. Why am I not the world's best helicopter pilot? When I first started flying DCS, I had a jet and I had a Warbird. I'm not a very good Warbird pilot either. Let's make that clear, as you guys have seen already. But I didn't have anything to try with on a helicopter. I had to buy the Huey to start trying to fly with a helicopter. That's why I've shown you guys the Black Hawk. That's why we're showing you guys this thing here today. So we're going to pull the engines back. No, I think we're good. And we're going to come with a little bit of left rudder and see if we can get this thing in the air. Nice and easy. Up we go. And we are very wobbly, but airborne. Okay, stop that. Now, this thing is a little touchy, at least for me. Being a very bad helicopter pilot might have something to do with it. However, as we talked about, that little black dot, that's our reticle. That's where we're shooting. So the first thing we need to do is we need to turn on our weapon system. And you'll see that switch in the middle of the console that's up above, like below where the numbers are and the power, right? I hit it, and our weapons are now on. That's basically like your master arm. Now we need to turn on, not the master arm, that just powers them. I'm sorry, master arm is now on. Down there are your armament weapons. You'll see there's 4 switches that are down. Left gun, right gun. Left rocket, right rocket. And now we're hot. So we're going to get some elevation here. And now that our weapons are hot, we can do something like this. Guns. Rockets. And you can fly around and blow stuff up. I do hope this helps you in getting into helicopters, because they can be fun. And as DCS expands, I am always a fan of free mods. So that'll do it for this one, guys. No, I'm not going to try to land this, because all I'm going to do is crash, and I'm trying not to crash in this video. But yeah, go get this. It is very well done. And they've got the livery immediately in it that I would want. Stick 500. I'll see you guys in the next one.